Welcome back to Feel Free, the only podcast that'll tell you to chase your dreams and call you out on all your bullshit, myself included. If you haven't already, give me a subscribe, like, and follow, share on all those listening and social media platforms. Appreciate all the support. Got a special guest. I say a special guest, but it's pretty much all my friends who come on here. So I got Jacki back on here. I believe Jacki was on episode 16. It's called Gluten-Free Jacki. You should definitely check that episode out, where she talks about her gluten intolerance and her nutrition journey, everything. She's back on this week. We're going to be talking about marijuana. And Chris, her fiance, was on the previous episode, so I had him come on here and talk about him quitting weed and his nutritional dreams and stuff like that. So now I feel like we need another perspective on that matter.
Yes, it'll definitely be a different perspective.
You feel up for the challenge?
Yeah, let's do it. You just love poking at all my vulnerabilities.
I mean, I'm calling people out on their bullshit. I was going to call myself out on the bullshit. Before we get started, I was going to say I haven't put out an episode in a while. To everybody who knows me, I'm a full-time bookkeeper, and it's tax season. So I apologize to all my fans. I haven't gotten around to it. Also just been really busy. So I'm calling myself out on that bullshit that I need to be more consistent with coming out with episodes. Right. So with me calling myself out on the bullshit, I'm now going to call you out on your bullshit and then hopefully call myself out on some more bullshit. So why did you quit smoking weed?
So, I guess when I started smoking weed, I was probably 15, 16, no, probably like 16 years old. And really I started, I had a rough childhood, as I'm sure many people do. Lots of issues at home or at school, just, social issues and issues at home. So it's funny because, I would be at like a party with my friends and they'd all be like drinking and getting all fucked up. And then I would just be literally playing solitaire on a computer.
That's crazy.
And literally the whole party would be going on. I'd just be playing solitaire on the computer. And
was this before you were smoking though?
This was before I was smoking and everything. Yeah. I was like totally straight edge. I just was honestly just like a super pissed off kid, probably more than anything. Really angry kid. And I would just play solitaire the whole time. It got to the point where I did that so my friends like had a trap house where like they also had like kind of a rough childhood and their house was basically like a trap house. So they had parties just like every day, didn't matter. It got to the point where I was just basically going there and playing solitaire all day to where they literally disabled it off the computer so I couldn't do it anymore.
Damn. Made you actually like go and chill with them?
Yeah, made me hang out with them. But all they did all the time is get fucked up anyways. And I just didn't want to be at home. But,
right.
But yeah, so I started actually with smoking cigarettes. I had a lot of older friends like growing up. So it was really easy for me to get everything all the time. So I started by smoking cigarettes, which I got pretty attached to quickly. It started with like me and, my best friend, Devin, we'd like share a pack. And then more and more, it just got to the point where we'd have our own. And then now we're just smoking all the time. And,
right.
But I really wasn't drinking or smoking or doing anything like that. I didn't really like alcohol. One day, someone I used to hang out with, me and her had like made a bet. We're like, everyone around us was always on something of some kind, no matter what it was. And we had made this bet. Like, I don't understand how people just smoke weed all day and function and do whatever. So we made a bet that we were going to smoke weed every day for a week and see how we feel. And we never stopped that week. And that week was funny, too, because once everyone found out we were smoking, it was, it was like crazy. So everyone, they were rolling so many blunts. I mean, we smoked so much weed in that week. It wasn't even funny.
Right.
And then once we kept doing it, everyone's like, all right, we're not going to give you all our weed anymore.
Yeah, this isn't your like introduction to the group of smoking weed anymore. You got to buy your own now.
Exactly. Especially because like after that week, we did not stop. We were smoking every day, all day. And I was smoking for a long, long time. And I loved it. Like Chris, he was always trying to stop or take breaks. Not me. I literally did not take a break unless I had to. I think maybe the longest I've ever gone was like 10 days because I maybe did it like twice for a vacation. That was before I got ballsy and would bring it with me.
Oh, shit.
So I would do it. So like twice on a vacation for a vacation. I had to like stop for a week. And then one time when I got sick. So basically like I don't know. For a long time, I was using weed as like my scapegoat out of things. Like, I don't know. Once I started smoking, I loved it because it made me feel a little less angry.
Right.
I felt like I could cope with the world around me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the longest time, I was so pissed off because I just felt like I didn't have a say in the life I was surrounded in. I just kind of had to deal with it.
Right.
And then when I was smoking, I just kind of felt like, all right, well, I can handle it now, I guess. It made it a little lighter, I guess, easier to work through.
You made the decision to get high. Like, you kind of felt out like the things that were happening to you were out of your control.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why you were angry.
Yeah.
You know, which was happening to me when I was like 19 or 20, when I was going through that, you know. So when you were able to make the decision to get high, you're like, oh, I can do this. So I'm in control of this feeling almost, right?
That, and, you know, it would make me laugh.
Right,
And it would make me, it would make me self-reflect on maybe some of the things that I was also doing wrong, but it would make me laugh and in a good mood.
Happy,
and
yeah, of course.
It didn't make me feel all the anger all the time. I mean, I was swarmed in it 24/7. I was mad. I was not enjoyable to be around. I was very, very angry. So it made it a little bit it just made me laugh and have a good time and just not constantly think about all the problems and stuff that I didn't like around me.
Right. But was this at the start?
This was like at the very beginning. So that's kind of like when I really got into it, and I was smoking it every day. And then like literally all through high school, I wouldn't even go to class. So like before school, I probably shouldn't have even like graduated. Before school, I was like late every day, or I was missing periods because I'd have to smoke like a blunt before I went. And then I'd have to leave school in the middle of the day to go smoke and come back. I was just steady always smoking. That was before you could just vape in the bathroom. I heard that's the new thing now.
With the dab pens.
Yeah, now I heard that's the new thing. But at the time where I was smoking, you know, vape pens weren't even a thing. So I was just steady on blunts in my car in the parking lot. In between, I was missing so many classes just because I just wanted to be stoned all day.
Right.
Then, you know, even in college, like my first couple of years, I was like really heavy into smoking still. And then it wasn't until like right before I met Chris and all of you that I was like, I decided I was going to change my life. I was going to make it the way that I wanted it to be. And I was going to take all the control back. Because at that point, once you reach a certain age, if you're still in it, that's your own fault, you know?
Right.
So
that was kind of when you decided to give up cigarettes.
That was exactly.
That was the first thing you did.
That was exactly when I decided to give up cigarettes, because I was sick of feeling like I had to cope with the life around me. I wanted to free myself. So I decided I was going to quit smoking cigarettes, and I was starting to cut back on the weed. And during that time too, you know, I was dabbling with other fun things that I won't get too far into right now. But I decided I was going to stop being a degenerate for the most part. And, you know, this whole time too, the whole time through high school, and even, I mean, I was getting straight A's. I was in all honors classes, which is another reason it made it so easy for me to keep smoking. Even when I was skipping classes and doing all that, I still had straight A's. I was still graduating in all honors. So I was too high functioning of a smoker.
Right.
I was in all sports. I was working out all the time. I was always in conditioning. I used to do conditioning in sports during the off season. For sports, I wasn't even playing just because it was my off season of the one I was playing. So I just wanted to condition with I was conditioning with all the soccer people. I never played soccer a day in my life, but I went to the soccer conditioning at the high school the entire time during my volleyball off season, just because I wanted to keep working out and it was a free workout.
Yeah, get in shape, you know?
Yeah, so I was very, very high functioning. So it didn't affect my ability to learn or get good grades or any of that. And I probably got away with way too much. But
college was different though.
College was a little different. I started, not doing, now I'm in all these calculus classes and all these higher classes. And it was not as easy for me to keep up with the straight A's while getting stoned all day.
And still staying in physical shape.
Oh, yeah.
With all the sports.
Oh, yeah. Especially because you're not really in sports anymore when you're in college, unless you go for sports, which I didn't. And on top of it, that's when I'm really drinking and stuff now too. Just
going hard.
going hard on the fun.
Right. I know all about it.
Not as hard on the things that were less fun, like studying and doing my homework.
Of course. That's the trade-off we make, though.
I was making it through. I was probably like just an average student at that point. I was making it through. But yeah, then I had met Chris and all of you, and then I had decided I was going to stop smoking cigarettes because I was losing my voice. I sounded terrible. I could feel the effect it was having on me.
The rasp.
Yes, it was. I sounded like a man. It was rough. So I decided to quit. And then while I was trying to stop doing all the other substances and cut back on smoking, I was never going to quit smoking weed at that point. I was just really trying to like slow myself down and not do it so much.
Yeah.
At that point, I didn't even think I was relying on it. I knew I relied on the cigarettes. I knew the cigarettes controlled my mood. Like if I didn't have a cigarette, like
mad.
Oh yeah, like the hair on the back of my neck was standing up.
Yeah.
I didn't really weed. I just thought I did for fun. You know, it just makes me laugh. I have a good time. It was just like my fun thing. And so when I tried cutting back on everything, but when I stopped smoking cigarettes was, when I got sick, it really like triggered all of that because of how much stress I was under at the time. And so when I got to the point, I'm not going to get into all that again, but when I got into the point where I wasn't able to like eat and I couldn't sleep, I was under so much stress, I couldn't even handle it. And even my doctor kept telling me like, you're never going to progress even if you're doing everything right because of how much stress you're under. It just keeps setting you back. It's just creating a toxic environment in my body all around. So I felt like I had to keep smoking weed.
Yeah, well, you put all your habits into that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I felt like I had to keep smoking weed. It was the only way I was going to be able to sleep that night or eat some food or just like manage my day. I was working like 2-3 jobs, so smoking blunts on my way to each one.
You changed your diet and your nutrition around. Your whole life you changed around, so you kind of put it all into that.
I did. I put it all into that. I mean, honestly, weed got me through some of the darkest days I've probably ever had.
Right.
So.
But what made you? What made you want to quit though?
So after all that stuff, and then finally, after I had gotten sick and I felt like I had to keep smoking forever, or I had to keep smoking during all that, and then I got better, and then I got healthy and all that, and then for, years now, I've been at a good place. I've made my life what I wanted it to be. And I stopped smoking cigarettes and I was all healthy again and all that. I still had this like strong attachment to it. I didn't want to let it go. It was the love of my life. I love smoking weed.
Right.
And I was also convinced it got me through the worst health issues I ever had. It can't be that bad for me. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But Chris had been wanting to stop for a while, and he had kept asking me, like, let's stop, because obviously we've been together for so long, and it's hard when your partner's doing the one thing you want to do, but you're trying to stop doing it. Like, if Chris was smoking cigarettes while I was trying to quit, that would not be going well,
Right. I think it would have been different if you guys, like, had a house and you didn't, like, smoke inside.
Yeah.
Because if it was separate from...
Oh, yeah.
If he could separate himself from it,
right,
it would have been easier. But you guys, we're young. We're in 1-bedroom apartments.
Exactly.
Like, there's nowhere to go, especially in the winter when it's cold as fuck. You want me to go stand out in 20 below? Even
like before the apartment, like, all of our friends would go to his house and we'd all be hanging out there. We'd all be like smoking and everything.
Yep.
Like, so, it was hard he did a good job quite a few times. He stopped for a few months here and there, but he always went right back to it.
It's just tough.
Yeah. Whereas me, I'm like, I'm never stopping. I'll stop when I get pregnant. That's what I always said.
Honestly, like I was going to ask about, that was going to be another question, obviously.
About?
Like with pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, was that one of the reasons why you wanted to quit?
Oh, no. That had nothing to do with this.
Okay.
That was just what I always said.
Right.
I had always said, I'll stop when I get pregnant.
Okay.
Which even then, it probably still wouldn't have been forever. But I just wasn't going to do it while being pregnant or breastfeeding or like any of that. So I'd always said that. Chris like, really? Like, like we're so young. You're going to tell me that you're going to wait that long? Because we were not going to be those people to have kids at a young age and stuff,
Of course.
So then obviously now we've been at an apartment for a long time, for a few years, and we'd been, he'd still want to stop here and there. He felt like he wasn't getting anything out of it, but I was so attached to it. I mean, I felt like we'd saved my life so many times.
Yeah. I mean, it was your rock at that point. It was your foundation.
It was. So I really didn't want to stop. And I kept telling him, no, it's not going to happen. Like, I'm sorry, if you're going to make the decision to quit, you just have to make the decision to quit. Like, I just can't do it. I just don't want to.
Yeah. If you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it.
Exactly. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it for you. I'm sorry. Like, I'll just resent you for that. So, like,
just to be honest.
Like, to be honest, for real. And I'd always tell him, too, like, when I had to stop eating gluten, I never made you stop eating gluten.
That's
you still
true.
could eat donuts in front of me all day.
That's true.
You know, I never made him hide to go with a donut, like, or a sandwich, or anything that had gluten in it. You know, not just donuts, obviously, but like
pasta and shit.
Just anything, yeah. So I would always use that against him. Now, the past couple of years, so I've been around substance abuse my entire life. Like, sure, when we were young, it was all fun and games, but as you get older, it's really serious. And I've lost so many people in my life to heroin deaths more than anything, you know, Xanax and drinking. I've been surrounded by a lot of alcoholics in my life. Like, substance abuse has literally surrounded my entire life for so long. Even people who got too into psychedelics to where it like really messed them up. I mean, I've literally been surrounded by substance abuse my whole life. And so it kind of made it, you know, easier for me to just like keep smoking and not care, but at the same time,
you didn't put smoking weed on the same level of substance abuse as what you have been around your whole life.
I thought I was doing something better still, you know?
Of course.
But then now, you know, my dad has been a really bad alcoholic my whole life.
Yeah.
And he's also been a very high functioning alcoholic. So obviously his alcoholism has always been a very big problem, you know, which was really a lot of what stemmed from my childhood. But
and your anger.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of it, but most of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to discount that. But for me, my siblings, it was really hard. But he was functioning. So it wasn't like we never saw him as tearing his life apart. He was owning his own business and he was always making money. And, you know, he was still our dad. He was just an angry alcoholic. Now, the past few years, it's really caught up with him.
Of course.
His health has just dramatically dropped. And now he's at a point where it's going to kill him. And he's not stopping. He keeps saying he wants to. And I know he wants to. But as you're addicted to anything, it's not that easy.
You know, I wanted to quit for 8 years, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to quit for 8 years. And that want can sometimes last an entire lifetime unless you actually do it.
Exactly.
So,
and we're all facing our demons, and you know, he got an alcoholic for for many reasons from his childhood. Like, it's just like this never-ending,
it's perpetual
cycle. You know what I mean? But after seeing how many friends I've lost for different substances, or even just the ones that made it out alive, but you know, it messed them up really badly, like, you know, mentally, or they had to like really, you know, go to therapies or, you know, drug abuse counseling or alcoholic counseling or just like whatever the case may be. And then now after seeing him, literally it's killing him and he's still doing it, even though he says he's going to stop and he's not stopping. I think that's what it really hit me. That
put it in perspective, like for you personally.
Yeah. That I'm like, I just need to stop smoking. Like, I never saw it as like I was like this big addict in any way, but it really put it in perspective for me. Like, for one, I'm telling him to stop from one addict to another. I'm still doing what I'm doing, and he's just supposed to stop what he's doing, for one. And for two, I don't know, it just really put in perspective for me that I do lean on, even though I don't think weed's as bad, I lean on it just as much as he leans on the alcohol. And that is my vice, and that is my escape, and everything I put everything into to get through things. And if I can't get through things without it, then how am I any different from anybody else?
That's true.
So I think that's where it really started to hit home, that I'm like, I really need to do it and stop, because otherwise I'm basically the same person as everybody else.
And you set out on this mission 10 years ago to change your life and control it, you know, and this just happens to be one of those hurdles.
Exactly.
You know?
It's like my final hurrah.
Yeah, I feel that.
But yeah, so, and like, you know, I've been really working up to get a new job, which is going to be a big break for me when I do. It's significantly going to be better than
what you're doing
what
now.
I'm doing now. I've been in all this training. I've been really working towards it. And I knew there was going to be a drug test, which I've used fake urine my entire life.
Yeah, our whole group has.
So I wanted to be able to know I could fuck my whole life up right now. Like, you know, you use fake urine. I've passed every time, but that one time I don't. For a job this big, I could just fuck up everything I've just spent the last year working towards. My big break for what? To smoke some weed, you know? Like, is
it really worth it?
Exactly. You know? So like, I really just, for one, I knew that I was going to be fucking up everything I worked for. Even though I know I could get away with it, but I knew that I had built myself up so high. Like, why would I sell myself short like that?
Of course.
And not give myself a real chance. And I wanted my dad to see that, you know, you can stop or you can try, and that, you know, that you can do it basically. And so I had told him, I was like, I'm going to stop telling you what you need to do, and I'm just going to show you. So it took, I'm not even going to lie, it took the entire past year really building myself up to it, because in my head, I was never going to do this, and I didn't give a fuck. And then, you know, after seeing him, because I last summer had saw him going through alcohol withdrawals, because I don't even know what happened, but he like really like wasn't feeling good, and he was like mentally gone, and he doesn't drink water or take vitamins or anything. So he's so depleted on so many nutrients. He was like really like psychoactively like gone, kind of like very like incoherent. And then he was like feeling too sick that he like wasn't drinking. I noticed a big problem when he asked for water. He said, I need water, which is like crazy. My dad refuses to drink water, and I had to take him to the hospital because I knew something was wrong with him. I'm like, I've never seen him mentally like this before. He's always high functioning, you know, and he didn't even know, like, he didn't know where my grandpa's house was. Like, you've been going here your whole life. Like, right. What do you mean? Like, so I'd seen him going through the alcohol withdrawals when we were at the hospital. And that was probably like one of the scariest things I'd ever seen. I'd been around so many, you know, I've seen people drop from drugs or whatever, but like now it's my dad, who I thought, you know, even though he's been drinking my whole life, I've just never seen him break, you know? It was really just like, it just really put things in perspective for me. So I really spent the last, you know, and that was like last August. So I spent like a few months really working myself up towards it. Like Chris always asks me, so when are we going to stop smoking? Like every few weeks, when are we going to stop smoking? And I always tell him never, or when I get pregnant or whatever. And then I had finally said, I'm not ready yet, but I'm getting there. And he was like, wait, seriously? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not ready yet, but I'm working. I'm working myself up.
Different answer than he expected, though.
Yes, he just expected the same old, same old. I didn't tell him what was going through my head either, because I knew he was going to hold me to it. I didn't want to tell anyone. I'm like, if I make this decision, I need to do it because I'm for real. I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, I'm going to do this, and then I don't do it. Like, if I say I'm doing something, I'm going to do it.
Right.
So if you don't take me seriously, that's your own fault.
Right.
Because I take myself very seriously. So I had told him, like, you know, I didn't want to tell anybody what I was planning to do, because I knew then I had to do it. And I didn't know if I was ready for it. But I had been really working myself up towards it. And then it was like around the holidays where I was really like, I think I'm going to do this. That's when I finally told Chris, was like probably like November, December, because I knew at that point I wasn't going to back down on it. And I knew that if I told him, he wasn't going to let me back down on it either. So I'm like, I just want to get through like the holidays, just kind of like, not even for any specific reason. I just wanted to do it, like just finish my year the way I started it.
Of course.
And I was like getting really close to finishing like the exams for all the training I'd been in.
Just stressful.
And it's not even like that. It was just so stressful. I just didn't want that to be the reason I lost focus.
Right.
So I waited till the new year, and I waited till my exams were over and everything. And then I was like, okay, like literally the very, very next day I took my exam, and the very next day I was like, okay, this is the day I stop.
So how many weeks you guys got now?
We are literally, let's see. We stopped, I think it was like January 18th.
No shit.
So this is by far double, if not triple, like the longest I've ever gone.
There you go.
To date.
So you're coming up on 2 months then, right?
Almost, yeah. Nice. Holy crap. Yeah, literally almost 2 months now, which is
and how long
truly crazy for me.
How long had you been habitually smoking? How many years now?
Literally, since I was 16, every single day, all day.
So is that like 15,
wake up
15
to fall
years?
asleep. Yeah, I'll be 31 next month.
Right.
Fuck.
Sheesh.
So yeah, like 15 years, all day, every day.
Fuck.
Throughout like my whole puberty and
everything pretty much.
Yeah, throughout everything. And I think it even took like me by surprise. Not that I actually did it, but because it, you know, it wasn't something I wanted to do this whole time. And I just didn't feel like it. Like Chris really wanted to for so long. And he was just kind of like hanging back, you know, whereas me, when I made the decision, I made the decision. It was the same thing with cigarettes. Honestly, I think I decided to quit like that week. Like,
you're like, I'm done.
Like when I sit, like, I'm not going to say it unless I mean it, you know? So when I knew I was done, I was done. And I couldn't, when I did quit, I couldn't look at it like I'm done forever. With cigarettes, I knew I was done forever. But I think even the first, that's not true. Because when I first quit cigarettes, I was still convinced if I stopped the habit, I could smoke again. It wasn't until I really stopped the habit and I went through all those withdrawals and like got sick and all the nightmare that I knew I was never going back.
Right.
But with this, I was like, I'm convinced that like, you know, it doesn't have like that like physical of an effect that sure, like I'll probably be able to smoke again or here and there, like how casually drinking or whatever. But that I couldn't like look that far into the future if I was really going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to worry about today and now and just try to make it as long as I can. So, you know, everyone would ask like, how long are you stopping for? Like, I can't tell you that. Like, I'm not going to be like, 6 months. Like, no, I'm just going to, you know, keep going and take it day by day.
There you go.
And it's funny too. So my dad will ask me like, oh, you still quitting or whatever? Did you still stop? I'm like, yeah, I still haven't stopped. And he's like, you know, shocked because he didn't expect it either.
Right.
He knows I've been smoking as long as I have. And so I think that's been really, hopefully putting things in perspective for him too.
Good.
Because I really haven't smoked since at all. I had a dream that I had smoked and I woke up like feeling so guilty.
Oh,
my
man.
stomach was turning.
I can't tell you how many times I had dreams like that. Like if I had a sip of alcohol when I was starting out or a cigarette and I woke up mad.
Yes.
And the dream was so real that I woke up, I'm like,
real.
I fucking did that last night.
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
I was so ashamed. I thought I had to tell Chris about it. Like,
right?
I literally was like, it took me like an hour in the morning to like really like wake up and realize that did not happen.
That was a dream, right? Yeah.
Like, I literally was like so convinced I had smoked. Like, why did I do that? I like hated myself.
And then you come to your senses, you're like, wait a minute. We're still good.
Yes.
We're good.
I'm like, oh, I didn't really smoke.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I've had those dreams too with a bunch of different substances and experiences. And the crazy thing was those dreams were so real because it would still be with like our group of friends.
Yes.
Or like a
very real setting.
Very real setting could have totally happened. Mm-hmm. Probably did happen.
Yes. Right.
And then I woke up like a pissed off motherfucker.
It's literally exactly what it was like for me. Exactly what it was like.
That's fucking crazy. Asked you like why you wanted to quit. It was obviously for health reasons, to get control of your life. How long? To free myself. To free yourself.
I didn't want to be a slave anymore.
There you go. And the other question was how long you'd been contemplating it, and you probably said around a year.
I don't even think it was the full year. I think
8 months.
Yep.
You said August, right? Or put it into perspective.
August, and I stopped in January.
Okay.
So like, what is that, like 5 months?
5, 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other question I was going to ask was...
I didn't say it out loud though until like 2-3 months before. Actually,
right,
1 or 2 months before.
you didn't actually tell yourself that it was a real thought.
Well, I knew it was a real thought. I just didn't. I'm not a liar, and I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna say it unless I feel it. So I didn't want to say it to someone, and then they come back and be like, "Oh, how'd that go?" And I'm like, "It didn't," because that's shameful for myself.
I mean, you had seen like Joe and myself talk about we're gonna stop. We're very vocal about like the things we do and our goals. You know, we're always telling people what we're doing. You know, and before we were disciplined, it was almost like empty words for us, you know, and you probably saw us say, we're going to quit. I'm going to quit this. I'm going to quit that all the time. And we didn't, right?
I mean, to be honest, like you and Joe were probably the only people I'd ever seen actually stick to the things they say. I never saw you guys like that at all. It was everyone else who I saw, especially like with my dad, you know, I never saw him drink not one less drink.
Really?
You know, even though he said he would.
Because we felt like we were all talk for a little bit. I mean, you got to understand, like Joe was drinking for like 6-7 years and I was doing my shit for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, but for one, I would see what you were like after you caved and you hated yourself.
Oh my God.
You hated yourself. It was not, I knew the day like you'd cave one night and I knew the next day was going to be a really bad day for you.
You felt that.
You really beat yourself up
when
about
I walked
it.
into the room. Yeah, I can
you
tell you.
really beat yourself up about it.
I
Like
hated
even if I wasn't
myself.
with you, I knew you were going to spend that whole day very upset.
Sulking.
Just very upset.
It took me 8 years to quit though. And like the last 2 years were really, I tried really hard those last 2 years. Every single day it was, I need to quit.
You quit everything at once though. That's like crazy.
No. I quit the alcohol and the cocaine for 3 weeks.
Okay.
Then I quit the weed.
That's still pretty back to back.
Right. And then a year later, I quit nicotine. So there was a space between that. And then a year after that, I quit League of Legends.
Yeah.
So if I would have quit weed, alcohol, and cocaine at the same time, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Like I needed those 3 weeks of having weed, you know.
Oh, yeah, to get you through it.
I mean, the alcohol withdrawals were unlike anything I'd ever experienced in my life, you know.
Withdrawals are brutal, man.
Fucked up. Not to get off topic, but I was going to ask, how was anything difficult for you when you were quitting? Specifically, like your mood. I know we've talked a little bit about your sleep schedule and that. So what happened with that?
So for me, it's kind of crazy because I'm very high functioning, and even when I was smoking, I felt sober. I've never not felt like sober other than like when maybe I first started smoking. So I don't feel more sober, to be honest, than I did 3 months ago. I don't feel more motivated. Like I've always been motivated. I've always been really pushing myself. I've never let go of those things. You know, I've always tried to keep going and be motivated, and I always felt sober. So none of those things have changed for me at all. I'd say when I stopped, even like withdrawal-wise, I don't think I really had withdrawals other than my sleep was really, really bad. My sleep was horrible. And that lasted, I mean, it's still kind of going on, but a little bit better now. So the entire first month, every single night, I had crazy night sweats. I'm talking, I'd have to wake up and change my clothes like 3-4 times. I'd have to like lay a towel down on the bed because I'm just drenched from head to toe.
That's fucked.
Yeah, like I had to tell Chris, like, go over there, like, because, you know, we cuddle a lot. We're cuddlers. And I would just be like, he'd go to put his arm around me, and I'm like, just don't do it.
Please don't.
Don't do it. Because it's like embarrassing, even because I can change my clothes, but my hair is soaked. You know what I mean?
Your whole body's soaked.
Yeah, I had to take just laying on a towel, like as though I just wet the bed or something. Like it was terrible. It's so like even with my own fiance, it's like so embarrassing. Like just to be like, I had to lay a towel down last night because I was sweating so much.
That was like for the whole month though, right?
A whole month. And I was having crazy nightmares. I'd wake up like crying, or I just wouldn't sleep at all. I just stare at the ceiling because I'm too scared to go to bed.
Fuck.
I feel like I faced all my demons, but also other random ones that I didn't have. Like
I faced all the demons I was supposed to face, and then there were a couple other stragglers in there.
Yeah, there was like weird stuff, you know, like head-ons with like sharks and getting robbed and like just like all kinds of crazy stuff, man. It's
literally just your imagination coming back.
Oh yeah.
Because you said you didn't really dream too much when you were smoking.
No, I mean, like I would dream. But I feel like, I don't know, my whole life, I've never been much of a dreamer. My whole life, though, like, you know, I've had issues with bad dreams. Like when I was in like 5th grade, I had such a bad dream that I couldn't even go to school. It was like a dream that like my parents died or something like that. I couldn't even go to school for like 2 weeks because it affected me so much. So like my whole life, I don't like dreams. I don't like them.
They're too real.
They're too real. I can put myself, I'm a very empathetic person. Like if you tell me something sad that happened to you, I will cry feeling your pain. And I think in dreams, they just feel so real to me that like it's hard to snap myself out of them. The only times I ever enjoy dreaming was because, like, you know, I was able to control that. Like, I'm able to, like, fly in my dreams.
Right, the lucid dreams. Yeah. Those are fun.
So, like, that's literally the only time I've ever liked it is when I was able to, like, you know, I can make myself fly now or whatever. But
for the first month, it was all straight nightmares, though. Straight
nightmares. There was no control. There was no stopping it. And there's no feeling like I was dreaming. They all felt like I was in it.
In a nightmare.
They all felt so real. Like I was, you know, awake when I wasn't awake. I even have dreams where like I thought I was waking up, but I'm still dreaming, and I'm just like back in another dream, like in those movies, you know,
right. Like Inception.
Yeah, it's just they were terrible nightmares. So I'm sweating, I'm waking up crying, It was horrible.
That was the first month, though, right? You said it's calmed down a little bit now, right?
So now it's not really the sweating that's really a problem anymore. And the dreams aren't as terrifying. Now they're just really weird, like really weird dreams. Like Chris had told me, like, you should write a dream journal. I'm like, no, nobody needs to know what's going on in there, dude. Like, I will not leave proof of what is going on.
That's fucked.
Like, there's no way that there can be evidence of what dreams I'm having.
I'm gonna be honest, like I enjoy my dreams.
You do?
Yeah, I enjoy the really fucking weird ones.
Oh.
Sometimes like the really weird ones, I wake up and I put my alarm on for 15 minutes. I'm like, I'm going back in. That's weird.
Even like the weird ones though, they're not good. They're like either just plain weird or they're still kind of weird and bad, but they're not bad enough to like shake me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
you still want to get out of it though.
Yeah, I still don't want to be part of it.
You're like, nah, I've exceeded the threshold. I need to get out of here.
For like the whole first month, even like Chris would be like, come on, come to bed. And I'm like, I'm not sleeping tonight. I'm not going to bed.
Nope.
It's not happening. Like, no.
I can already tell you where my mind's at right now.
Exactly.
Not going to happen.
Exactly. But so dream wise has been really rough, but now it's almost, it's been over a month and a half. The sweating's got a little better, around like, not TMI or anything, but around my cycle, I might like be a little sweaty, but it's not to where it was before. I don't have to like change my clothes like that and stuff.
That's good though. I mean, your body was just basically in shock.
Yeah.
Because your body used weed for 15 years to maintain homeostasis.
Literally that. And I think the thing that the weed affected the most throughout my whole body is literally my hormones. Like, obviously it helped me hormonally with like my moods and like my emotions, but I didn't realize how like literally it controlled my hormones. Like literally, because even on my cycles or whatever. I mean, like, it was just crazy because like with how much I was sweating and all my nightmares and everything, I felt like my hormones were just going nuts. Like they were just going absolutely crazy. They're like, what are you doing to us?
Like, we haven't dealt with this.
Ever, yeah. They're like, what is happening right now? So now it's been a little better. I'm still having like these weird dreams, but I'm able to sleep through the night.
That's good.
I have like an Oura ring and I like watch it every day. And for the longest time, it was yelling at me. It literally tells me like, you need to manage your stress. You're not sleeping. Your heart rate's too high. Like I always wake up like, oh, it's yelling at me again.
You're like, I know.
Yeah. But now it's starting to be like literally one morning I woke up, I swear to God, and my ring said, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like,
you're like, I needed that.
It literally said, don't worry. Everything is gonna be okay.
That's actually fucking weird.
It leaves you like a little message when it tells you your score, It says, manage your stress levels or do this. And one morning it just said, literally word for word, don't worry. Everything is gonna be okay.
Chris has been trying to get me on that Oura ring thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's different, like, there's Apple Watches, all this other stuff. I just got the Oura ring for, like, Christmas, so I'm still fairly new to it. But because my sleep has been the number one thing affected, it's helped me analyze it, like, literally with results.
Of course.
And now it's getting to a point, I literally got a good job this morning, because...
Had a good night's sleep.
Yeah, like, it's like, you slept longer than usual. Like, it's proud of me today.
Yay.
So, and it tells me, like, it's been telling me, like, your heart rate's still too high. Your heart rate's still too high. I'm like, God, I don't know what to do about that. And then finally it's like, your heart rate lowered. So we're working through it. Thankfully, because I was about ready to never sleep again.
I can imagine.
And then that does not help my mood. And then I'm like so terrible at work all day.
Right. So the difficulties in sleep, the sweating, you said your energy hasn't changed. Well, I mean, your energy changed because of the sleep.
Right.
Not because of the not smoking weed.
Right.
For people like me, like when I quit smoking, like I have way more energy.
Really?
Because when I'd smoke, like I would do the same things. It's like I'm going to eat a burrito, play video games, watch TV. Very mellow things, right? Mm-hmm. But I would do that in order to keep myself mellow because my brain moves so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not drinking caffeine, I have to like pace throughout the apartment. Lisa watches me sometimes, like before I get to writing or stuff. Like I have like very weird rituals, right? Mm-hmm. But when I stopped smoking weed, all of that repressed energy I had, like, is very difficult to manage for me. So I had way more energy. but I had to put it into video games to start because it was actually too much.
Because you had to find a way to release it.
I had no idea.
You got to release that energy.
I know. Well, at the time when I first started getting sober, I worked 2 jobs. I worked 50 hours a week to, the old cliche idle hands are the devil's playground. It's like if I just keep working, because I never liked going to work fucked up. I always got fucked up outside of work. So if I work all the time and then all that energy I had outside of that, I'll put it into video games for now.
Yeah, it's a good distraction.
Right. Until I was like, I got better at managing my energy. I'm like, okay, we can work out now.
Yeah.
Or we can go hang out with people. I'm not like a total spaz right now,
Yeah.
So.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
No, it's good. You go.
I was just going to say, I'm a very high energy person. Like there is a fire always burning inside of me that used to be, more angry focused. And then ever since I worked through all that constructively, it had been more just like an energy burning where,
It's passion now.
Oh yeah. Straight passion, to dedicate myself into growing in some way. I'm always self-reflecting on what I can do or whatever. So that we'd never stopped that. You know what I mean?
So I guess I might want to ask you in a couple months, because right now your body is doing this whole physical revamp, because like we said, you use the weed as homeostasis. Your hormones were out of whack.
I really used it more, I think, to calm myself down.
Right.
I needed to be calmed down.
Of course. But right now you're oh, I haven't felt more motivated or had more energy right now. But I think your body for the last 6 weeks was almost in fight or flight mode. Because you didn't even get any sleep. You're like, oh my God, I got to go to work. And then after work, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to go to sleep. Yeah,
but even when I was smoking, I'm very, I work out and I rollerblade. I do all these so many different activities and I always keep myself going. In the summertime, even if I'm alone, I'm doing stuff. I'm outside walking or whatever. Even in the winter on my lunch breaks, I go for walks and stuff. And then even now I'm quitting, I've been going to dance classes with Lisa.
Right.
And so that's what I mean. It's not I just never had low motivation to begin with, I guess.
Have you noticed a difference in your perspective on things?
My perspective definitely has changed. And at first, I thought too, I don't know, the longer I go without it, I'm starting to realize it might be the cigarette thing where I don't want to go back. I don't know, part of me feels there's going to be occasions where I am going to want to smoke. And I might let myself, because at that point, it was never a physical thing for me to where, with cigarettes, that went really deep. With this, it was for fun and to relax or whatever. But when I even thinking about smoking just makes me feel so guilty. It just, I don't know why, I just get so guilty even though I'm thinking about it.
I mean, if you're feeling guilty about even having the thought, then that means internally you're ashamed of it. It's almost like you've already done all this work for this 6 weeks. It's you've gone through hell.
I did
to
go
get
through
off
hell,
of this. And by you even having the thought of possibly doing it again, your soul or who you are deep down is oh, I can't even fathom.
Right.
Having to go through this hell again. What if I smoke again and I have to go through this hell and the sweat's all over again?
Or what if I just want to keep smoking?
Right.
I don't feel I've been off of it long enough to where I'm not going to want to do it again.
Right. But you still feel guilty for even having that thought.
Oh, yeah. Even when on days I crave it, because it comes and goes. The first week was much easier than I thought it was going to be. And then once we got to the month mark, I was craving it. It's when my body was are you serious? I'm starting to think you're serious now.
Are you serious?
I thought this was, just, something you were going through.
Right.
But now it's this is real. This is serious. This is something I'm really working through it. So now that it's, my mind already knew and now it's catching up to the rest of me that
I think once your mind and your body and your life without weed is in sync, I think it's going to be a different perspective.
Yeah.
I think you're going to look at things differently. My brother liked smoking weed more than I did. Joe liked dabs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Joe ever even thinks about weed like that anymore.
Yeah.
Because it would totally ruin his running.
Yeah.
But he's so fucking driven.
He is so driven.
It's crazy.
I want a piece of it.
Yeah, it's I get little spurts of it, but he is a driven motherfucker for sure. I couldn't even think of drinking or smoking weed again. I'm coming up on 4 years now without it. And if I just look at what I've accomplished in those 4 years, it's like, why would I do those things?
Yeah.
Because those things didn't like bring me to where I am now, you know? It just seems illogical for me.
Right.
You know, you and Chris and everybody else who isn't totally destructive like I am, you know, you guys can deal with it your way.
Yeah, I've made all my accomplishments through smoking and stuff too, you know,
Right.
like, I don't know. For me with this was like, it's just about something so much more different. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, I sleep too much or I eat too much or I don't have any motivation or anything like that. For me, it was, I want to learn how to live the life around me and go through these ups and downs. And, you know, I'd get mad and be like, I need to smoke right now. I don't want to feel that way anymore. You know what I mean? Like just
that
like
energy.
Yeah. Like I want to be able to like feel my emotions run through me and learn to just let them go. Just let them go.
That is the first step in getting rid of these filters, as
Yeah.
I call them. Yeah.
You know, everyone's like, oh, I need something. I need a vice. Like, why do we need that? You know, like why?
It's very Buddhistic of you. I don't know if I'd use that word.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if I used that word correctly, but to ask that question is ascetics or Buddhist or, you know, any monks in general that look at life, they use like food, water, sleep, right? Like, and shelter. Those things are just necessary. And they'll ask like, well, why do we need those vices? Why do we need those pleasures? You know, and that was a pretty big question you asked, you know. I can't get rid of all of my pleasures in life. I can't.
No.
Like, I find pleasure in coffee.
Yeah, I
and-
stopped that too.
Yeah,
Well, I stopped that before I stopped smoking.
Right. You know, I still have like my video games, and it'd be like asking me to quit basketball.
But that's, I don't think, like, why do we have to quit the good stuff? You know what I mean? Like, those are the things that, like,
Right.
I love my dance classes. I found like a whole other side of myself in those. Like, to tell me to quit them, like, it's like, now you're just telling me to stop doing things good for me.
Right. Yeah. So, well, me smoking cigars or eating ice cream, those would be considered vices.
Oh, dude. When I was first starting to quit, my sugar cravings were through
Yeah.
the
Oh,
roof.
yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to get fat now.
That's
Like, I was just getting an ice cream every day. I'm like, I'll work through that eventually.
that's how I got off of my e-cig,
Yeah.
was candy. The first 3 weeks, man, Skittles and Reese's.
I just wanted like chocolate ice cream every day.
Oh, yeah. I was never worried about my addiction to sugar, though. And I'm like, I don't like how sugar makes me feel afterwards.
Right.
Right.
Same.
So if I need to have it in the moment to get through something.
I'm going to give it to myself.
Right. Yeah. And lo and behold, after 3 weeks of being off my e-cig, I stopped going to the gas station to get snacks.
Yeah, plus, like, I don't like candy. I'm not much of a sugar person anyways, and I have a gluten allergy. I can't really eat dessert very often. So, and we have keto ice cream, so it's like sugarless ice cream. So, like,
You guys are just restocked on that all
I just,
day.
like, needed the taste of some chocolate, and I just needed to, like, I did have, like, it wasn't necessarily high energy, but, like, there was, like, this, like, burning inside of me. Like, I need to distract myself. I need something right now.
Well, because
So,
you guys watch a lot of TV, different shows and stuff like that. And when that one coping mechanism isn't enough, you're probably sitting there like, I need something else.
yeah, I was, like, bored with the TV. It was like, I'm like, fuck, I need some ice cream.
Right? I know that feeling.
Fortunately, though, you know, it's not like, you know, I'm still eating ice cream every day or anything. I go through my periods where I'll like crave it and then I won't really crave it because I'm not much of a sweets person.
Right.
But it's funny. So Chris was like, you're eating ice cream a lot. I'm like, do not deprive me. like I don't have it. Like I don't eat sweets that often. So when I want a sweet, just give it to me.
I used to say for years that I wasn't a sweets person because I would like try and trick myself into not liking sugar, you know, but then at family parties, I started eating cookies and cake and my sister's like, but you don't like sweets. And I'm like, Kath, everybody likes sweets. Right? Everybody likes it. All right. I just say that out loud to trick myself so I don't always just devour a cake, you know?
Exactly.
I don't like the keto ice cream though that you guys eat. It tastes like chalk.
I love it. I think it tastes so good.
Gross.
I think it tastes so good. I think regular ice cream is very sweet to me now.
Yeah,
like
it's really
I might
sweet.
have like a scoop of regular ice cream. I'll eat a whole pint of some keto ice cream. But it's not just any keto ice cream.
It's a good
We
stuff.
only like 2 very specific brands. And like that is literally
Is that
it.
Rebel?
Rebel, and then my favorite one is a brand literally called Keto. And it is by far, I mean, I'm sure somebody who's like eating regular sugar and can have gluten and stuff all day, it probably tastes different.
Of course.
But for me, who never really had sweets to begin with, and who I always think things are too sweet, like, you know, like I don't buy sweet beverages because they're too sweet to me.
Mhm.
I've always liked like lower, lighter sugars. So eating the keto ice cream and stuff, that just like to me tastes so good. And they have like, you know, I can have like the brownie and the cookie dough and all that because it's all gluten free. It's made with like almond flour or something. So it's just, I love it.
It's your guilty pleasure.
It is my guilty pleasure.
You guys can keep that, and I'll stick to my real ice cream. Everybody wins.
Exactly.
So, do you got any like tips for anybody who might be, as you say, self-reflecting on maybe quitting a habit they've been doing for 15 years?
Whether you've done it for a few years or longer, I've come to realize like addiction is really what you've made of it. It's what you've put into it. It's whether it's like a substance or whatever it is. You know, some people have a really hard time, like you said, even quitting sugar. Like addiction to us, I think, is what we put a lot of our energy into to find some type of relief. And I think when we try to remove that, sure, we freak out because it's like, this is how I found that relief. But, you know, no real growth, I think, can occur until we take ourselves out of our comfort zone. And I started realizing I was letting myself be way too comfortable all the time. We don't have to cope with things. We can work through them if we allow ourselves to. I think we're just really scared to. And that's like the one thing that my dad had said he says it so much. I'm just so scared. I'm just so scared. And it is really scary.
Yeah,
it's really fucking scary. It's scarier for him to think about stopping than it is the thought of him still doing it, killing him, which is crazy. You'd think you'd be so scared of like dying from it. For me, it really shook me, for even myself, that like if I can't feel like I can like spend a day without smoking weed, like holy shit, like what have I put into this, like that I feel that way, you know? And I think it just like, you know, we can't be afraid to let ourselves feel. I think people, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I suffer with depression or anxiety or this or that. I think we hold on to the emotions that we really can't let go of. And until you learn how to in some way without drugs, whether they're, you know, prescription or whether they're what makes you have fun through it or whatever.
Yeah, or fast food and sugar and stuff.
Exactly. Like whatever it is, I think we truly have to let ourselves feel it to let it go.
It's vulnerable though.
It is so vulnerable.
It's tough.
Dude, don't be afraid to cry. I've cried so many times. Like just no reason. Just gotta shed a tear. But like for once, I'm just letting myself feel it. You know, and honestly, it makes you feel so alive.
It
like,
feels good.
Why do we like numbing yourself? Sure, it might feel better in the moment, but you just feel numb after it. Like, you know, you're just always numb. Like letting yourself feel even the bad really lets in so much more room for good. And it makes, you know, now I feel like there's life highs that I get, you know, on like the things I'm doing now and how far I'm getting. You know, it almost gives me that high on its own just because
it's unfiltered, it's real.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling it.
Exactly. You know, like we can't be so afraid of the things. We got to learn how to let go. Honestly, you got to let go. Your life can be whatever you make of it. You've just got to be willing to give it to yourself. We got to, like people, you know, for some reason we've convinced ourselves that maybe we don't deserve it or that we should be ashamed of ourselves or, you know, for whatever the reason is. You know, we're scared. You just got to know that, like, really, you can give yourself the life you want if you're willing to face those things and learn how to work through them for real and let them go. Because if you try to avoid feeling it, they're just going to keep following you.
Right. You got to make those sacrifices, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's like a shadow. It's just going to, like, follow you everywhere you go until you literally just learn how to, like, not wear it anymore.
Right. Let go of it. Deal with it. It is scary at first, feelings
are so scary.
Man, because, you know, the starts of when I was getting sober, I didn't hang out with you guys. I was only, like I said, I was only able to go to work, come home and play League and hit my e-cig. Like I couldn't go and see anybody. Like I couldn't go and do anything. I couldn't work out. Like I couldn't do anything because I was so afraid of how I was going to feel. Like I knew how I was supposed to feel at work and I knew how I was supposed to feel playing video games, right? But being completely unfiltered, like in the first couple of weeks was so scary to me that
intense.
It was so intense. I couldn't even face anything, you know? But once I started getting reacclimated to feeling, I would come out and see you guys, friends and family, go into different events, like then it got easier. And now the feelings were very authentic. They're very real. Like, oh my God, I don't need a filter. I don't need to numb myself to feel alive anymore. And it's totally worth it. The first couple days or first couple weeks, to anybody out there who's, going through something very similar to this, like once you get through it, it's totally worth it. Mm-hmm. Like, in the moment it might suck, trust me, but
and some things really do, the more physically addicted you are to it, it's way harder.
Yeah, of course.
Like I can't tell someone, you're getting off heroin or something, like no problem.
That's tough.
You know what I mean? Like every substance has its level, but it is really what you put into it. It's what you put into the addiction. It's what you put into trying to live a better life.
Right. The amount of effort you put into getting addicted to those things.
Exactly.
Now take that effort and putting it into getting out of those things.
We have to stop trying to run away.
Yeah.
Just stop trying to run away.
It is easier said than done, but I think voicing that concern with ourselves, the self-reflection, as you've said, I think it's totally worth it. I think it's necessary now, especially post-COVID, now that we're all kind of wondering who the fuck we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's not all about work or my TV screen or my phone screen. Like a lot of people are worried about their health now, mental and physical. Mm-hmm. And I think that's great.
I think there's, it could be a year of breakthroughs. We don't have to lock ourselves away anymore. Like, COVID's over and we're allowed to go back to the things we want to live. But, I don't know about anyone else, but I wasn't really happy with the life I was living before. I mean, like I was happy with my life. I love my fiance and stuff like that, but I was stuck in this monotonous job and this monotonous day and just feeling like everything in my day was what I was supposed to be doing. I found some relief in COVID because it was like, I get to do the things I want to do and I get to stay home and watch TV and smoke or just hang out with Chris all day or whatever.
But then that got boring.
It never got boring for me. I literally, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people spent that time alone and that really hit them. But for me, it was like I had worked so much all the time and was always like trying to just do whatever I thought I was supposed to move forward. It was like I finally just got the wants, I want to do this today. I want to do that today or whatever. So I did kind of enjoy it. And then now that I have to go back to this life, where you still have to work. I can't just stay at home and make money or do whatever. It's like, how do I live a life where I can still be successful and move forward, but I'm still getting those wants,
I'm still enjoying life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm still freeing myself.
Right.
I'm not going to let it weigh on me anymore.
I think getting rid of the weed was the first step in doing that. Or the last step in doing it, honestly.
Yeah. I think I'm a loose cannon now.
A loose cannon, aimed cannon, your sights are set on something greater though, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and even in quitting, I will say this too, that anger it doesn't come back, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, now I'm back to being angry. It's like,
angry
no.
Jacki.
Yeah, no, now it's just, now I can just like feel good being me and loving myself. And
it's easier to take a step back.
I'd say that's also honestly one of the biggest things I could tell someone too who wants to overcome something. Like for some reason, I feel like it drives from not being able to love yourself. You're ashamed or you're whatever. And if there's one thing I could say, it's like you really got to learn how to just love and appreciate yourself. And I really think that could get you through anything.
Right, like base level. Like, yeah that's self-reflection, self-love.
All I do is self-reflect.
That's it. Self-reflect. I'm a fucking mirror.
Literally. I've exposed myself to myself.
And now you're not angry about it.
No, now it's okay. And, I forgive me. And
there you go.
Let's move forward.
That is the key. Well, I think we had a really good conversation.
I agree.
I think we talked about some really good points today.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on. Probably going to cut this, not short, but we're probably going to end this. So I appreciate you coming on, talking about, quitting your weed habit after 15 years, how it's impacted you, how you're looking forward to using your self-reflection and mental health towards the future, big goals and big breaks and all that other good stuff. So yeah, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I appreciate everybody who's came out to listen to this episode. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe and tell your homies about it, your friends and family. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out.